Hello students, welcome to the lecture on electronic payment systems, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Discuss the electronic payment technology, explain the requirements for internet-based payment, describe the online payment security, explain the characteristic of payment system, discuss the electronic payment media. Let's start with the introduction. Electronic payment is an integral part of electronic commerce. Broadly defined, electronic payment is a financial exchange that takes place online between buyers and sellers. The content of this exchange is usually some form of digital financial instrument such as encrypted credit card numbers, electronic checks, or digital cash that is backed by a bank or an intermediary or by legal tender. Three factors are stimulating interest among financial institutes in electronic payment: decreasing technology costs, reduce operational and processing costs, and increasing online commerce. The desire to reduce costs is one major reason for the increase in electronic payments. Cash and checks are very expensive to process, and banks are seeking less costly alternatives. The crucial issue in electronic commerce revolves around how consumers will pay businesses online for various products and services. Electronic payment systems are non-credit card online payment systems. Electronic payment is a financial exchange that takes place online between buyers and sellers. Decreasing technology cost. The technology used in the networks is decreasing day by day, which is evident from the fact that computers are now dirt cheap and internet is becoming free almost everywhere in the world. Reduce operational and processing costs. Due to reduced technology costs, the processing cost of various commerce activities becomes very less. A very simple reason to prove this is the fact that in electronic transaction, we save both paper and time, increasing online commerce. The above two factors have led many institutions to go online, and many others are following them. We began e-commerce with EDI. This was primarily for large business houses, not for the common man, affecting the consumer. Credit cards, debit cards, ATMs, automated teller machines, stored value cards, e-banking. Enabling online commerce, digital cash, e-cash, smart cards, and encrypted credit cards. Affecting companies, the payment mechanism that a bank provides to a company have changed drastically.
You're looking to offer your customers a safe and easy way to pay online. Since all payment processors aren't created equal, it's a really good idea to know the ins and outs of how an online payment functions from start to finish, so you can avoid pitfalls and make the most effective choice to protect and grow your business. The main players in an online payment are you and your customer. To accept credit cards from customers, you'll need a couple of things: an internet merchant account and a payment gateway. On top of that, you can also choose to include an alternative payment method, like PayPal, to service those customers who shy away from using credit cards. Once those pieces are in place, here's what happens next. A customer makes a purchase from your checkout page by submitting their payment information. That information is then sent to the payment gateway. The gateway then encrypts the payment information and shuttles it to a series of approved payment processors and networks for authorization, where the payment is either accepted or declined. That decision then shoots back to your customer, and all that flurry of activity takes place in about 2 seconds. The final step happens after the gateway sends the transaction to the payment processors, and the money is transferred from the customer's bank into your account. So as you've seen, a payment moves through several parties, often with varying providers for each transaction. Since things can get really complex really fast, some payment solutions make things easier to manage by offering everything you need bundled together into an all-in-one solution. If you already have an internet merchant account, some solutions allow you to use a gateway to accept credit cards and offer the option to add alternative payment methods. There are, in fact, all kinds of different solutions out there. Before you decide on the best online payment system for your business, make sure the solution you choose provides solid answers to the following questions. First, is it secure? Search for a payment solution that's PCI compliant, has a trusted name, and make sure it's safe with systems that have never been breached. Second, is it reliable? Look for a solution that's always available with backup systems in place. And finally, is it easy to use? You'll want to get up and running quickly, so your solution should be easy to integrate and flexible, with accessible technical support and resources so that it can meet your needs as your business grows. And to keep things easy for your customers, make sure you can accept an order on your website, in online marketplaces, over the phone, and even in person. When making this important decision, it's worth taking the time to find a payment solution that provides the security, reliability, and ease of use needed to continue earning high marks from your customers as your business enters the world of online payments.
Let's now discuss electronic payment technology. Electronic payments first emerged with the development of wire transfer. Early wire transfer services such as Western Union enable an individual to deliver currency to a clerk at one location, who then instructed a clerk at another location to disburse funds to a party at that second location, who was able to identify himself as the intended recipient. During the 1960s and early 1970s, private networking technology has enabled the development of alternative electronic funds transfer (EFT) system. Electronic funds transfer system have shortened the time of payment. Instruction transfer between banks and in the process have reduced float. The role of electronic payments in customer e-commerce activities. The process of paying is an essential part of customers' online buying activities. These activities are well described by the consumer mercantile activities model. The model comprises pre-purchase interaction, purchase consummation, and post-purchase interaction phases.
If you had to list the things Portugal does best, you'd probably think of the sunshine, the beach, and delicious food. But would you put payment technology on that list? Well, you should. Portugal has some of the most advanced payment methods in the world. At multi-banco machines, you can pay your bills, buy concert tickets, and much more. You can even pay for tolls and parking with your Via Verde box, without even having to stop your car and scratch around for change. Brilliant!
Duh.
But you know this already, right? But what you probably didn't know is that your business can use electronic payment technology to receive money. Large companies have been doing this for years, but now, thanks to EasyPay, everyone can receive money this way. That's right. People can now pay you through multi-banco, credit card, or direct debit, just like the electricity, water, and phone companies. This opens up your business to a new range of possibilities. It makes you look more professional, you can attract international clients, your sales will go up, and all of your transactions will be easier to track. Large companies accept electronic payments because they're easy, quick, and safe. Now, thanks to EasyPay, small companies can benefit from these advantages. For example, if you sell things online, you can set up a payment system on your website. It could be for booking rooms in your hotel, taking orders for your homemade cupcakes, or selling crafts on your blog. If you run an association, you can receive contributions or membership fees through your website or Facebook page. Schools, gyms, and businesses that receive monthly payments can provide their members with a multi-banco reference for each payment. Or, even easier, set up a direct debit. EasyPay also helps you get credit card payments over the phone, by email, or even by post. We have 3 plans to choose from, and one of them is free. Just choose a plan, sign our contract, get your username and password, and you'll be ready to receive your first payment, your first easy payment. EasyPay even works with your existing invoicing software. Not only does it notify you about who still owes you money, but it can split a payment into installments to help your client pay you. A simple and convenient solution that suits everybody.
Let us now describe the scope of payment system, business to consumer payment system. This research is focused on user acceptance of new payment system in consumer e-commerce environments. The main focus of the presented work is therefore business to consumer e-commerce (EPS), which are designed with the main purpose to facilitate payments for consumer e-commerce. Payment system. Designed for the web currently, consumer e-commerce is done mainly via the www web service of the internet. The market for conducting e-commerce payment via wireless PDAs, mobile phones and other internet services is still under development and therefore does not have a wide user basis and users experience. Scope of target activities. These activities include those that are related to buying goods and services and essentially represent consumer e-commerce. The scope of these activities is embracing a significant and arguably the most important part of the consumer e-commerce represented by B2C relation. Purchasing goods, tangible, require, shipping, intermediated by shipping companies. Purchasing information and software, intangible, immediate, not intermediated by shipping companies. Purchasing services, intangible or tangible, not always immediate, can be intermediated by service companies. Related activities. Additional activities that have to be explored are the influence of pre- and post-purchase interaction. It is very likely that correct introduction, application and follow-up of payment, products and services in retail, e-commerce are important for user acceptance of EPS, and therefore the pre- and post-purchase interaction phases cannot be reasonably disregarded when investigating the payment process. Types of electronic tokens. An electronic token is a digital analog of various forms of payment backed by a bank or financial institution. The two basic types of tokens are real-time or prepaid tokens and postpaid tokens. Real-time tokens. Real-time tokens are exchanged between buyer and seller. Here user prepay for tokens that serve as currency. Settlement or postpaid tokens. Settlement or postpaid tokens are used with funds transfer instruction being exchanged between buyer and seller. Classification of payment system. The implementation of EPS is dependent on the consumer payment behavior. Credit cards. There are two types of credit cards in the market today. Credit cards are issued based on the consumer income level, credit history and total wealth. Debit cards. The difference between credit cards and debit card is that in order to pay with a debit card, need to know your personal identification number, PIN, and need a hardware device that is able to read the information that is stored in the magnetic strip in the back. Charge cards. Charge cards are similar to credit cards except they have no revolving credit line, so the balance must be paid off every month. Smart cards. A smart card is about the size of a credit card made of a plastic with an embedded microprocessor chip that holds important financial and personal information. Prepaid payment services. In prepaid payment system, a certain amount of money is taken away from the payer by debiting that amount from the payer's bank account before purchases are made. Cumulative collection services. Cumulative collection services are mainly used for the processing of smaller e-payments which are cumulative and then paid. Payments portal services. Payment portals are payment service providers that offer a wide range of the different payments options and provide merchant accounts to online retailers in general. Mobile phone payments. Several initiatives have emerged for initiating e-payments from mobile phones by using short messages, SMS or phone calls. These have also been referred to as M-payments. Authenticating the user. We can describe authenticating the user as protection from customer fraud. Since the card is not physically present during the transaction, it is practically impossible for a merchant to distinguish a legitimate credit card user from a thief. In online transaction, the user is usually asked to provide additional information such as their address and phone number and the card's billing address, if different from the customer's address. Protecting card numbers in transmission. Since information transmitted in an online transaction is sufficient for approval of a credit card charge, it is essential that this information is protected from eavesdropping. The most common way of doing it is to encrypt data in transmission. This is done via SSL. Protecting card numbers on the merchant side. In practice, the main vulnerability of dealing with credit card numbers is not the transmission but the storage. Security experts agree that storing credit card numbers at the merchant side is a risky practice and should be avoided. Protecting from merchant fraud. The other side of protecting a merchant from a customer fraud is protection of a customer against a merchant fraud. If the merchant knows enough of the customer's credit card information to be able to authorize a transaction, then the merchant, including many of the merchant's employees, know enough to be able to use a credit card themselves. Now let us talk about the requirements for internet-based payments. The internet opened up the world of e-commerce and led to the development of various types of internet-based payment services which emerged in the late 1990s to intermediate between online buyers and seller P2B and for personal transfer P2P transaction. Internet-based payment services provide mechanism for customer to access via the internet pre-funded accounts which can be used to transfer the electronic money or value held in those accounts to other individuals or businesses which also hold accounts with the same provider. Many internet-based payment services use a variety of business models. These services are referred to as digital wallets, digital currencies, virtual currencies, or electronic money. Digital currency providers may allow third parties to undertake the exchange of natural currencies with electronic currency or value. In such a business model, the electronic currency may be issued and redeemed through such agent. These agents may be affiliated or unaffiliated with the provider and therefore acting as a virtual bureau the change. Internet-based payment services may also be associated with online gambling or virtual worlds for which only a proprietary form of currency can be used to conduct transactions. Internet-based payment services that involve the issuing of electronic money solely for the purpose of purchasing goods and services directly from the electronic money issuer or with a limited number of merchants with limited value and range of goods and services fall outside the scope of this paper since this is comparable to closed-loop prepaid cards. Let us now discuss online payment security. One of the most crucial and well-researched issues in payment system is security since the internet is an open network with no centralized control. The infrastructure supporting electronic commerce and payment system in particular must be resistant to attacks in the internet environment. Security can be viewed as a twofold issue. On the one hand, user would like to be sure that their money is safe when paying online. On the other hand, banks and payment services organizations would like to protect themselves so that no money, financial or personal information can be stolen or misused. As e-commerce continues to grow, Visa cards must make buying goods and services online as well as over the phone or by mailed orders simple but secure. A card security code, the CVV2, verified by Visa is a password. The address verification system, AVS, verifies a cardholder's billing address, helping retailers and businesses identify when goods are being dispatched to an unusual location. Visa code SURE is a dynamic password authentication that uses chip and pin technology to generate a one-time code which validates that the genuine card and cardholder are both present when a transaction is made. Verified by Visa. Verified by Visa protects Visa cards against unauthorized use and gives cardholders peace of mind when shopping online. It is a password-protected identity checking system designed to counter online fraud and provide vital information to card issuers in the authorization process, ensuring greater confidence in the transaction for all participants. Verified by Visa involves the cardholder in two quick and easy steps. Firstly, a personal message known only to the cardholder and their bank will appear. This lets the cardholder know that the security screen they are seeing is genuine. They will then be asked to enter their verified by Visa password.
Security is one of the most important aspects of an e-commerce business. For an online store, being able to gain a customer's trust should be top priority. If you are unable to protect your customer's personal data and credit card information, then you can forget about doing business online. Your job is to provide safe web browsing and secure transactions. In order to provide your customers with the safest possible online shopping experience, there are three main security features that your e-commerce site cannot be without. They are secure hosting, SSL encryption, and PCI compliance. With these three working in sync, your online store will have heavy-duty protection, which will enable customers to have full confidence in making purchases. The first thing you need is secure and reliable hosting. Without it, your e-commerce website will not be able to run smoothly. It's important to have plenty of bandwidth to handle potential floods of traffic, large disk space to store unlimited products and customer information, a strong firewall to protect important data, and the host provider must guarantee an uptime that is as close to 100% as possible. SSL encryption provides security over networks. It's basically a system that codes and decodes sensitive data such as the customer's personal information or online transactions to protect it against hackers. E-commerce solutions typically provide 128-bit encryption, which is already very secure, but some offer 256-bit for added protection. PCI compliance is a standard which was created by major players in the credit card industry in 2006. It ensures that all online businesses that process, store, and transfer credit card information do so in a secure environment. In order to become PCI compliant, you must be able to build and maintain a secure network, protect cardholder data, maintain a vulnerability management program, implement strong access control measures, regularly monitor and test networks, and maintain an information security policy. What you need is an e-commerce solution that offers daily backups, has close to a 99.9% uptime, provides state-of-the-art firewall protection, has a data center with great backup generators, offers real-time protection monitoring, uses either 128 or 256-bit SSL encryption, and is fully PCI compliant.
Let's now discuss the characteristic of payment system. Anonymity, privacy. This characteristic reflects the desire of user to protect their privacy, identity, and personal information. In some transaction, the identities of the parties could be protected by anonymity. Anonymity suggests that it is not possible to discover someone's identity or to monitor an individual's spending patterns. On the contrary, when one pays with cash at a shop or in a marketplace, no one can say by examining the cash that money came from the payer, as there is no direct information about this payer's personality associated with the banknotes. Applicability. The added value of a payment mechanism is dependent upon how useful it is for buying something. Applicability of a payment system is defined as the extent to which it is accepted for payment at points of sale or at online e-commerce sites in this case. Authorization type. Authorization type is referred in the literature as a form of a control over the validity of transaction. The authorization type can be offline or online. Offline authorization means that user of the system can exchange money while not connected to a network without a third party mediating for their transaction. Paper checks are an illustration of offline authorization. Convertibility. Naturally, users will select payment mechanism as financial instruments according to their needs. Numerous payment schemes have emerged up to this date, and user can expect new system to appear, all providing an assorted variety of services and application for various purposes. Efficiency. Much discussion is going about the ability of system to accept micro payments and small payments. Small payments are amounts less than €1. Micro payments are amounts of a fraction of a cent. A system which entertains the characteristic of efficiency should be able to process small payments and micro payments without performance degradation and without imposing the high transaction costs. Interoperability. A payment system is interoperable if it is not dependent on one company but is open and allows other interested parties to join. Multi-currency. Effective and efficient payment between different countries are possible when a system allows processing multiple currencies, as it is currently done with credit cards. Reliability. Naturally, users and businesses want a system that is reliable because the availability of services and the smooth running of an enterprise will depend on the availability and successful operation of the payment infrastructure. Scalability. As the commercial use of the internet grows, the demands placed on payment infrastructure will also increase. The payment infrastructure should be scalable to be able to handle the addition of new users and merchants so that system will perform normally without performance degradation and maintain the required quality of service. Traceability and linkability. Traceability indicates how easy it is to trace money flows and sources of funds that are going through a payment system and used for purchases. In electronic payment system, money can be traced by records that are kept of a payment activity. For example, information about credit card payments is stored by banks and credit card companies, and it is possible to find out what money was used for and where it came from. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Electronic payment is an integral part of electronic commerce. Broadly defined, electronic payment is a financial exchange that takes place online between buyers and sellers. Real-time tokens are exchanged between buyer and seller. Here, user prepay for tokens that serve as currency. Credit cards are issued based on the customer's income level, credit history, and total wealth. A smart card is about the size of a credit card, made of a plastic with an embedded microprocessor chip that holds important financial and personal information. Cumulative collection services are mainly used for the processing of smaller e-payments, which are cumulative and then paid. Payments portals are payment service providers that offer a wide range of the different payments options and provide merchant accounts to online retailers. In general, a payment system is interoperable if it is not dependent on one company but is open and allows other interested parties to join. Traceability indicates how easy it is to trace money flows and sources of funds that are going through a payment system and used for purchases.